But Sam, let's go back to 1906 when Muhammad Ali Jinnah joins the Indian National Congress. And he doesn't move over to the League, to the Muslim League, until 1913. In fact, he goes on to forge even as the head of the Muslim League, he goes on to forge the Nehru-Jinnah Pact of 1916. And he remains committed to Hindu-Muslim unity. Starting with that kind of background, and as we know, Jinnah is a completely secular Muslim, how did things go so awry?
The transformation of Jinnah, I think, is one of the bits of the book that I found so fascinating. You know, Jinnah's become such an icon, and what he represents is so central to both India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, that it's very rare that we actually look at him as a human being and how he developed his ideas, and more specifically, how his ideas changed in the course of his political career. I think that as late as, the 1920s, Sarojini Naidu, probably the most prominent woman in the Congress
called
movement.
him the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity.
Exactly, and he drives around in fast cars smoking cigarettes and has this Parsi wife, and he's known as the best dressed man in Bombay. For him to transform into the founder of what became the world's first Islamic Republic, from the man who's known as the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity, he goes through a series of fascinating transformations. I think first and foremost is the fact that after marrying him, his wife, Ruti, is excommunicated by her Parsi community. And I think he begins to worry that maybe people can't move past these religious boundaries. Their marriage goes south very quickly. And all this new research has shown that she probably committed suicide after an unhappy marriage. And I think that this completely changed him as a man, and particularly the fact that whilst he was looking after her in hospital during a depressive episode, Nehru and Gandhi had used the opportunity to pass through a resolution, basically overruling all of the political gains that he'd made. And he develops this very personal, deeply personal and painful animosity towards Congress's two main leaders. He in particular, I think, views Gandhi as this kind of, this diaspora guy who's come back from South Africa with all sorts of ideas about what Hinduism should be.
And as a born-again Hindu. And he says that Gandhi's use of Hindu imagery threatens to hijack the whole narrative and turn it into more religious than it is secular. So he fears that. But
he leaves the Congress eventually because he cannot stand the way that religion is being brought into politics. And of course, this is a
huge irony, isn't it? And it's such a huge irony. But let's